having a bit of issues with the stream, and we've got the sound back. That's promising. We've got the sound back, so that's something. Yeah, just doing the intro for the billionth time as Droftas sets the time on 14.649. I'm here with Infamous Pillars, who of course is a Div 1 driver, and one of our Div 2 commentators. He's in the commentary box with me today, and hopefully we can finally get going on actually commentating this without any more stream issues.
Yeah, and a big shalom to everybody joining the stream tonight. Rocky road to start with, but hopefully now it'll be smooth sailing. Obviously, 7 races left to go. Droftas still leading. After Andenj obviously bowled it early doors in the season, Droftas picked up the pieces and run away with it. But Chapelele coming in strong since he's joined. On for his 4th race win tonight, so it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Indeed it will. Looking for his 4th win in a row. Let's enable the track map.
I've been on board with Energetics for about 4 or 5 laps now.
Yeah,
and
he always does this.
Every time he invalidates, and I just don't know. That's another one. Oh, that's lucky.
No, I think he was trying to invalidate then, though. Yeah, he seems to do this every single time. He does like 10 laps on the softs. It's an odd tactic. Tangier seems to be copying him now as well. It's like his warm-up, I guess, his practice, but it is an odd thing, I know. Chapelele still not out yet to do a lap. Currently fastest is Abyssus with a 1:14.346. Yeah, worth noting that there's a 95-point gap between first and second. Second, Chapelele joined late.
Oi!
Hilker's
out.
Hilker's out, and so is FTH. I was on board with him, and he's not out, but he's got damage, and he's gone into the wall.
I was on board with Energetics, and he lost out the first, the second part of the S's. I think pretty similar to Liam, and he lost his rear wheel. So that's Energetics out. That warm-up did not help him at all. No,
that's an FTH. Let's see if we can see what damage he's got. Surely he must have got damage. Yeah, he's damaged his end plate. He's going to be coming into the pits now. He lost it at the S's as well, but the difference is he lost a wing, not a wheel. So he'll be able to continue the rest of the qualifying session. So yeah, that S section proving quite tricky for those drivers. I was saying in one of the many previous attempts at the stream that I find that on this track the stadium section in Sector 3 incredibly difficult, really slow corners, quite sharp, very easy to lock up if you're running no OBS, and lose a lot of time. We have got our first comment, probably people wondering why the stream is so late or whatever. We do apologise for that. That was I first started off streaming on the wrong YouTube channel, which was very professional of me, and then the stream was just not working for some reason. But now it is, and fingers crossed it stays that way. Andreas, is he on a lap or is he on an out lap? We'll get on board for a bit anyway. Farhad definitely is on a lap behind him, because he's yet to set... Oh no, he has set a timed lap, it just 0 laps on these soft tyres. But Andreas wasn't on a lap, because he's gone out the way of Farhad.
Yeah, and Nosey going P2 with a 14.4 on board with him for the whole lap there, looking very smooth. Man in form is old Mr. Nosey. Big win last night, and 100% league that I'm in with. Driving really well at the moment, so expect Nosey to be doing a few bits tonight as well.
Yeah, and he's so good at keeping within those track limits and not getting penalties. So many of his podiums have come from finishing as low down as 7th, but because he hasn't got any penalties, he's managed to get it. Oh, that's a big crash in the background.
That's Chapelele.
Yeah, that was a huge crash. I was on the view of Farhad, and I just saw a Red Bull smash into the barriers in the background. Wow, that was... he was very lucky not to have lost his wheel as he locks up. He's got no front wing at all. Yeah, very lucky not to lose his wheel.
A lot of pressure on Chapelele now, though. 5 minutes of the session left to go.
Yeah.
Hasn't got a lap time in yet. So
well, he is nursing a finger injury as well, apparently. So maybe that's affecting him. I don't know, but yeah, it looked a very odd crash, if you ask me. It just looked like he just slammed it into the wall almost on purpose. Certainly, people are rejoicing in chat anyway that he is in the chat anyway. In Discord, Farhad didn't improve on that lap. That last lap. I'm not sure if he's going away. I'll just going again. Sorry, I can't speak today. He is using his ERS, so I presume he is pushing again. He's trying to beat that time he set of a 1:15.018, which is good enough for 10th at the moment. 13 times set so far, and FTH is on an outlap. Gurman on the lap at the moment.
Gurman's just starting another one, invalidated the last one. Droftas retiring. Yeah. I think he knows he's going to be safe for that one. Looking down the order, I think he will be as well.
Well, Farhad improves, but it's only by about half a tenth, but it's into the 114s. Yeah, Droftas probably thinking he's not wanting to risk it, seeing how many people have crashed at that S section. We've seen FTH lose his wing, Chapelele lose his wing, and then, of course, Gurman does a purple first, and then we've also seen Energetics and Liam depart this dimension. Gurman getting very close to the track limits there. Emerson also on a lap. We're going to stay on board with Gurman for now. He did a purple first sector. What can he do in the second? Paulie Orange has retired in the pit lane. He's invalidated Gurman. That's what he's going to do in the second. Emerson starting his lap now.
Nosey with a 14-1. So
wow,
Nosey coming
yeah,
in.
you weren't lying about
strong,
him.
So.
I wasn't even aware he was on a lap. But yeah, currently on board with Emerson. But Nosey goes fast as a 1:14.114. And Emerson now on a lap at the moment. Yet to set a time. He wasn't purple in the first sector. Emerson, one of the quick lads in Division 1. Went a bit on the grass through the S section there. And let's see what he can do into this final sector. Of course, you remember last season where Bottas had that quite bad crash just coming out of this corner here into the final corner, where Verstappen got pole, but blew it by boasting that he didn't slow down for yellow flags. And what was just a genius move was Emerson goes second quickest with a 1:14.312. We've got Tango on a lap. He's improved by 10th on his first sector and is going purple. We've got Alan, who's just done a lap, and I think he's setting out on another. FTH is invalidated, and then we've got Kingsholm on an outlap. So I think we're going to stay on board with Tango. Oh, he's invalidated. We're not going to stay on board with Tango.
Chapelele not coming out of the pit lane, yeah? So I don't know. It's going to be very... Oh, no, he's coming out now, I think. Is that him?
Leaving it late.
That's him now.
Leaving it very late.
Very late, so... But he is out now, so... Obviously the pressure on Chapelele with Droftas safety through at the moment. It's all on Chapelele, obviously, keep that title fight a little bit more alive tonight. But if Dan gets away and Chapelele does retire, then it could be a long race for Chapelele and the title fight could well and truly be over. But 6 races left, you never know. Alan, Mr. Clean is just coming towards the line now.
Well, he's looking to improve this time of 1:14.7, and he does comfortably P4. That's him comfortably through 1:14.393. Now we're going to go on board with Chapelele. This would be a shock if we lost him in Q1. We've already lost Energetics and Liam, through crashes. That sounded a bit like a question then. I was like, Liam, but yeah, he's Tango retires from the session. He just needs to go quicker than 2 other drivers because Energetics and Liam, as I said, are out. Chapelele now about to start his flying lap, and this will be his final attempt.
Farf won't be setting a lap at all, so Farf is out of qualifying.
I think, to be fair, Farf said he'd be slightly late, so I think he will be taking part in the race, but I think that's why he's not taking part in qualifying.
Gurman as well, starting on his final run, has come to the end of sector 1. So
he's invalidated quite a few, Gurman as well. He's looked quick though in the ones when he was starting those laps. For example, he was as Kingsholm sets a 1:14.8. He was purple actually in his first sector. Now Chapelele's purple in his first sector, unsurprisingly. But yeah, he was purple in his first sector going before he invalidated, so he's got the pace. Yeah. We'll see what Chapelele can do then. I think the most important thing for him is not necessarily a rapid time, just keeping it within those track limits. Going through the S section.
I would have been close to invalidating that one.
Yeah.
Germany will come round first. Loses back end slightly, but this should be enough to see him safe.
It is
and
third
it
fastest.
More than enough.
I told you he was looking quick. And Chapelele, that's shocking. He's hit the bollard. That should be a 10 place grid penalty if you ask me. Really disrespectful. As Chapelele, you know what's even more disrespectful? Is Chapelele going that quick? That's just so disrespectful to everyone else. That's ridiculous. 8 tenths. I mean, that's just, wow. Just rude, isn't it? And so unnecessary.
Yeah, it's that was something special for Chapelele there, obviously pulling out the bag when it mattered.
He didn't even need to go that fast, that was just showing off.
No, Dan Murphy has now joined, so obviously Dan Murphy just a little bit too late from Quali 1, but starting from 19th, and we know Dan's quick, so...
And he's used to doing that as well. He quite often doesn't qualify. He's
very good driving in the field as well, so expect Dan to be somewhere, near the top come the back end of this race. Bath obviously we know has a little bit of pace to him, but the penalties hold him back sometimes. So
yeah,
interested to see what those two can do starting at the back as well. And Liam and Energetics as well, obviously both crashing out of Quali 1.
Well, speaking of Liam and Energetics, we've seen them both in the comments actually. Energetics saying, well, I now know that full throttle isn't working. And Liam saying, it makes me feel better about crashing out now. I presume in reference to Energetics. We've also got Leonardo, a regular there. Saying, well, here we go again, quite often supporting Phil and being disappointed. And also doing his own version of Katy Perry's Fireworks by saying, do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind waiting to start again? So if we get copyrighted now, Leonardo, that's your fault because of how perfectly I reenacted that. So yeah, we lose from qualifying 1. Liam Yeh, Dan Murphy, F1 Farth, Energetics, and YouTube Nova. Worth noting that Energetics and Liam Yeh crashed out. Dan Murphy and Farth didn't set times. Nova did, but wasn't quick enough to get through. Phil has got through. As we were speaking about Leonardo in the comments. I wonder what Leonardo thinks about the Argentinian flag. I know it is to respect Maradona, but, you know, he is meant to be an adopted Brazilian. Because of his fans.
So, yeah, it's a shame about Maradona, but as I think I said to you earlier, mate, he'll whether he's down here or up there, he'll still be sniffing the big boy lines. But
absolutely,
the guy, very very talented footballer. So shame to lose someone like him, but it is what it is, unfortunately.
It's what happens when you do that many hard drugs, unfortunately. That's just how the world works. I wonder what about strategy. It seems like there's no rain expected for the race, or if it is, it's insignificant or later in the race because we've seen quite a few people on mediums. Nova saying his teammate ruined his lap, and then he lost control in the final corner and had 2 invalidations. Who is Nova's teammate? Kingsholm. So that's frustrating for him. First out then, is that Andreas as usual? It is Andreas as usual. Loves that screen time. Almost as much as his teammate, Energetics.
Yeah. Apart from Energetics, obviously doesn't love his left rear wheel that much because he decided to lose it during Quali 1. So I think you need to prioritise what you love more.
Well, he doesn't love pit lanes as well. We know that from Abu Dhabi and quite a few tracks at this point. He doesn't like pit lanes particularly. He loves crashing them into them anyway. Hence the nickname.
Well, we do know one thing that Energetics loves, and that is buses.
Oh, absolutely.
He loves a good bus, that boy. So, but unfortunately, he seemed like he was driving one today. So
Yeah. Well, I hope the bus had more protection than that F1 car. And I hope he wasn't driving at those speeds as well. We don't condone that at all.
I mean, he is a crazy Dutchman. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. He was the flying Dutchman into the wall through the S section. So Andreas about to start his lap then.
Interesting to see a few people on softs. I think the delta between a one stop and a two stop is only about 6 seconds. So maybe a few people thinking it's worth it, or a few people just deciding to throw a few sandbags out there and just maybe set a lap on the softs, but not use any RS, or even chucking a bit more fuel in there to make that car a little bit heavier.
Yeah, and I think with this track, obviously you can overtake. A two-stop can work pretty well. The tyre degradation, I'm not sure. I will be honest, I haven't done Mexico really at all this year on this game, but I remember last year the tyre deg was absolutely shocking around Mexico. I certainly really struggled, and I couldn't in the end make a one-stop work. I had to go to a two-stop, and even that was sometimes a struggle. And another thing that will be around here, I think, is penalties, especially through that S section. As we see Andreas now come around to complete his lap, and he will be setting the benchmark on the medium tyre. Of course, at the start of the season, he set the benchmark for the championship.
Yeah, he did indeed. Unfortunately, the wheels did fall off at Alfa Romeo. He sets a 15.5, so good solid time on the medium so far. But yeah, just going back to what you said, as Tango comes through on the mediums, goes 2 seconds quicker. So unfortunately, the wheels did fall off at Alfa, and just couldn't keep up that momentum. But when Droftas got on his flow, it's hard to keep up with him.
Yeah.
As we all know, he is probably the quickest person representing Wales. As we know, Rembo finds a lot of walls, where Dan finds a lot of W's. So,
indeed,
if she took the sheep out of Dan's book, then I think she'd find a few more W's.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rembo, of course, looking to be in Division 1 next season. She's currently just outside the promotion places. Abbasus goes fastest with a 1:15.2. Tango in second with a 1:15.3. Paulie Orange third with a 1:15.4. And Andreas slowest out of those fatalities on the softs. He got P3 actually out in last time in qualifying. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, that's someone slowing down, I think, to get out of the way. Fatalities invalidated. Chapelele is now coming out the pits, and FTH also invalidated. Phil on a lap, he hasn't invalidated yet. He's on the S section though, where it's so easy to do so. But he's managed to just about keep it within the track limits there, and he's done a purple middle sector. So Leonardo, who I see has commented something else in the chat. Let's see what Phil can do for you. He's saying, "Can you feel the love tonight?" I love these Phil puns. As usual, Leonardo delivering with the entertainment for us commentators. Phil comes across the line, third fastest with a 1:15.3.
Phil looking to get back to a bit of form tonight, hopefully. Been a bit quiet recently, but as you said, Farhad nearly losing the car there,
I just went on board with that as it happened, and I was holding my breath for him, because that was going one of two ways. He was going to save it like he did, or he was ending up in the wall. It seems like he's got quite a unstable setup on, because I think in Q1 as well, especially through the S section, he seemed to struggle for traction. We've got FTH on a lap. He's invalidated. Come on, guys, stop invalidating so I can spectate a lap. Who's going to be next to start?
Liam has left the session, so I'll invite him back again if he hasn't got one.
So Chapelele will be the next person to start their lap. So we'll see what kind of alien time he can do on the mediums. Of course, he was 0.8 quicker than anyone else in Q1 on his only timed lap, which he left to the very end as Tango retires with that time, perhaps thinking he can't better it.
Strange, with 9 minutes left to go. You might see people going onto those soft tyres and knocking them out. So it's I wouldn't have so early, but obviously I'm not in the cockpit tonight, so.
Indeed, Chapelele's unsurprisingly gone purple in the first sector. Well, he got a 113 whilst everyone was getting a 114 in Q1. What were we saying? A 114.5 maybe in Q2?
14.4, 14.5 maybe. Yeah, I think you're in that around that ballpark.
I mean, I don't believe he's damaged his finger, or if he has, it's just not needed because it's not affecting his pace at all at the moment. He did have that one moment, of course, in the S section where he did lose his front wing in a peculiar crash, but bounced back from that and showed incredible pace. And let's see what he can do in this final corner. No bollard for him to hit this time because he knocked out of the way in Q1. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Someone's slowing. Chapelele. Oh, I was perhaps giving him too much praise. 114.7, still a really good effort. And 4/10 quicker than anyone else. Alan has gone second with a 115.178. Good effort from him.
Definitely a bit of track acclimatization coming into play now.
Indeed, and Emerson has invalidated. German about to start a timed lap. Knowlesy's invalidated.
TLC just starting his lap, so...
Yep, we'll stay on board with him. Oh, apparently Tango pressed the wrong button. He didn't mean to retire. Oh, well.
Oh.
I don't... What have you meant to press there, Tango? Leave the session temporarily or something? I don't know. It seems bizarre to me. Fatality, that is not the track.
You don't want to be stopping either, or you will.
No, you will get disqualified, mate. Okay, no, he's moving.
Hang on, what's he doing here?
This is fascinating to watch. Thing is, he was on a flying lap, so he didn't need to get out of anyone's way. He just did. Very odd. We'll go on board with German for now, anyway.
German's backed off completely.
Yeah, he has. Okay, so we won't go on board with Knowles. He's invalidated. We won't.
No, Knowles is just starting a lap now, though. So
yeah, we'll see if he is still going for it. Yeah, he is. At the moment, anyway. Leonardo's saying, yeah, I'm hoping so too. His form right now is worse than Vettel's. That's in reference, obviously, to Phil Razor. Tango was saying, I was going to invite Liam back after his error and clicked the wrong one. Oh, that's heartbreaking, that.
He's had an absolute
good intentions. Good intentions there, but just being punished by, yeah, just...
But, you know, Tango's got the pace, so... Again, if he does miss out on Q3, I fully expect him to be inside that top 10 come the end of the race, so...
German set his first time, but it's not a representative time. It's a 1:23.166. Also, worth noting, as Knowlesy is on his lap, that, yeah, if Tango doesn't get into Q3, if he gets something like 11th, actually, it actually can be a benefit, especially on a track with such high deg. He could maybe start on the hards or mediums. We'll start on the mediums regardless if he gets through. But anyway, Knowlesy now coming to finish his lap. We've also got Farhad, who's just crossing the line for another attempt. And Knowlesy goes up to 8th, 1:15.538. So Tango actually at the moment looks like he might be safe with 5 minutes to go, but of course that will change if people start to go on softs.
So if you've got Kingston in the pit, still FTH starting his lap, and so Emerson. Other than that, it's quite a pit lane. The top 5, well, sorry, pretty quiet track, busy pit lane, but quiet track is top 5. Well, Orange now out on the soft tyre, so if anything, he might be going for a soft hard, possibly.
Yep, or just a 2-stop. Maybe soft hard soft or something. German goes second quickest. He did do a purple middle sector, and he's done a 1:15.155. Fatality starting his lap now. We've got Farhad on a lap at the moment. He's gone purple in the middle sector as well. He's 3/10 up on his time through there. Emerson is starting sector 1.
Interesting, Fatality, hasn't it? Didn't open his DRS down the whole start finish straight, so...
Yeah, and next across the line will be Farhad. Farhad does improve, but it's not enough to improve his position at 1:15.656. Fatality is not doing a time lap because he's 2.9 seconds down. Emerson is, though. It looks like a respectable second sector. Looking to put in his first time lap on those medium tyres. So Tango now moved down to 7th because of that accidental retirement.
Yeah, so interesting to see now. Obviously, German
Emerson goes
has
second quickest.
Hamilton, yeah. So Tango is looking like he will be in that drop zone come the end of it. As Nosey will have time if he wants to go on those soft tyres. Fatality coming into the pit, so I'd imagine that's a quick change onto a set of soft maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kings have had a set of lap Eva and Denge could be going out on the softs as well. So interesting last few minutes. Orange coming to the end of the first sector now, opening the DRS.
Surely this is going to be purple on those softs. It is. It is purple on those soft tyres. Paulie Orange, of course, got second in France. As you said, though, he did practice a lot, so I think he would have been a bit disappointed with that. Well, actually, no, he was quite happy in the end, to be fair, because it's always going to be a tough ask to beat Chapelele. So I do remember in the press conference, we're not that fancy. In the post-race interviews, I should say, he was actually quite happy with the second because of the speed of Chapelele. It was the best he could do, he said. And it was a good result for him, getting second in France. And he's gone purple in the middle sector, 4/10 up as expected. This is definitely going to be in the 14s. How low is this going to be? It's going to be quickest. How much quicker? It's only a 10th quicker than Chapelele's time on mediums. But that's not to say it's a slow time. That's just to say that Chapelele is a wizard.
Definitely.
We've got FTH on outlap. Him and King set times so far. So, understandably, they're in the drop zone.
Nobody coming out of the pits with only a minute and 59 left to go. So, this is Tango looking safer and safer as time goes on. We have a bit of action down there now. But these guys need to get on with it to get around. Obviously, it's only a minute and 14 lap, but you don't want to be backing off too soon.
You don't want to get tangled up, yeah. Tangled up with other drivers and stuff. Although I presume the slipstream at the end, I mean, it'd be awful catching someone in Sector 3, but slipstream at the start of your lap would probably help if they get out of the way. FTH starts his final lap now. We'll keep an eye. Chapelele's on another out lap, so he's coming out again, even though he doesn't need to. He's safe. Droftas has retired in the pits.
Denge out on softs, and so he's obviously got KRC and Kingzone. So Droftas could be on the bubble here. Phil on the softs as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who improves and who doesn't. It still goes down to what you said about invalidations and things like that. We've got Abbasis, who won't make the line.
He should be safe. Well, I say that, but quite a few people are out. But yeah, no, I think he still should be safe anyway. I'm watching FTH. He did a purple first sector. It was quicker than Paulie Orange's time. He's done a purple middle sector as well. So this is looking good for FTH. One of the new arrivals into Division 1. The man from Turkey. What can he do? He can do a 1:14.742, so safely through, you presume, to Q3. Good job from him. As we see the first people finishing, Phil Reyes has just started his lap, so he has got to the line. Knowlesy on a lap, Andreas on a lap as well. Who is closest to the line? Chapelele's invalidated his lap anyway. Didn't even need to be out there.
So Droftas on the bubble really here.
Yeah, he is
P8, but he's definitely on the bubble. So if Knowles can improve.
Chapelele has retired on track. Let's hope that doesn't ruin anyone's lap. Phil is right behind him.
Yeah,
we're about to see.
No, Chapelele's pulled off.
No,
so.
yeah, it hasn't affected it, luckily.
Knowlesy's round. Knowlesy is round, so Knowlesy is out of qualifying.
Oh, that's devastating for him. Yeah, he gets out of the way. I missed the spin, I presume it was. But, yeah, devastating for him. Next, across the line is going to be Kingsholm. What time can he set? He goes 6th fastest. Droftas is now down to 10th.
He's on the bubble.
Yeah, Phil, if Phil improves, he's out.
He's out. I think Droftas is going to be out. He is.
Wow, Phil goes quickest as well at 1:14.3. So there you go, Phil gang. And Chapelele is already buzzing, I can tell you that. But, wow. Yeah, we weren't expecting that, were we? And fair play as well to Phil Razor for going quickest in that session. Decent job from him.
I think for Droftas, I think that's going to be a hard start, maybe. And just try and get the longevity out of him, maybe go hard, soft towards the back end of the race. So, obviously, we know Droftas is a master of getting onto that podium from a bad situation. So, I still think you've got to watch out for him. Obviously, you've got a few people in the top 10 starting on the soft. So, if they go too soft and Dan can make those hards work for him, then I think you might find it could be an interesting racer.
Yeah, Droftas seems pretty chill about it. He says he only needs 4th. That's not to win the championship, but if he continues getting 4th, he will win the championship. I'm not actually sure what the earliest race he can win it is. I'm sure Droftas will message me the maths at some point when we get closer to the time. We've got Tango. Did he? No, he just missed out on, as did Droftas, on getting through. So we've got 5 medium runners and 5 soft runners. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Split strategy. Also in the comments, we got Nunda saying the Discord lot told me to jump in and say hi, bye. Well, thank you, Nunda, for that. That was beautiful. We got Becca Rentbo in the chat saying good evening. Leonardo is going crazy because Phil is in Q3 and the quickest in Q2. And Liam saying the only thing that could have saved Tango was Kingsholm's dog. Apparently he did jump up on him during a lap, and that's why he ruined Nova's lap, apparently. But it is the very, dog ate the homework sort of excuse, so, we don't know. Let's get all the details back up then. Who's going to be first out? Racing Point, and that is the Racing Point of Emerson is going to be first out.
I think you see a few guys with a few sets of softs left. See one get us thrown away, and the other, obviously, you might need for the race as a late safety car, and that could also, any safety cars can bring Dan right into this.
Oh, absolutely. And
so
of course, Droftas.
We've seen Energetics bin it. We've seen Liam bin it. We've seen, was it KRC who had a little bit of a moment as well? So
it was FTH.
Yeah, it's easily done around here. So,
and of course, Chapelele. Let's not forget him. He lost his entire wing, didn't he? In Q1. So lucky not to lose his wheel. So
this is true. So anything can happen, and obviously a real long run down to turn 1 as well. So if someone gets a bit overzealous and tries the heroic lunge, you might see some action going on down there. And obviously, for the battle for the constructors, you've got AlphaTauri leading it by 55 as well over the Red Bulls, and only having one AlphaTauri in the top 10. Shootout. Yeah. This is playing into Red Bull's hands a little bit more. Obviously, we know Chris or Alan who is Mr. Clean, Mr. No Penalties around most tracks. We've got Droftas obviously bringing it home with the W. So the constructors, I think, will go down to the wire.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just for the it's not just for the title as well. I mean, you just look at that midfield back. Well, from third, it's a bit like in real life, from third down to fifth, 187. Well, especially that third and fourth battle between McLaren and Alfa Romeo. There's a 15-point gap between them, and then there's a 33-point gap between Mercedes and Haas, and then a 3-point gap between Williams and Haas, and then Renault it's 5.7 points. So very close and competitive indeed, which is good to see.
Definitely, but this is where the action really does start, and it all does heating up just before we get into the race as well. So obviously, is it Emerson? It is Emerson going to be. Is it Emerson first? Yeah,
it is. And I'll tell you what, it's also heating up in my house because I've left the heating on too long. So I'm gonna quickly pop downstairs and do that after we see Emerson set this time, and I'll put it on board. Choose a driver, and I'll have it on them, and you can commentate for those.
Let's go Alan because he's a little bit back in the lap as well. So
All right, off you go. I'm going to turn the
Emerson
meeting down.
with a 14-1 takes provisional pole. Kingsholm 1.3 seconds off. So Kingsholm way off the pace in Q3 so far. As we have now the other Ferrari coming out of the pit lane. We've got Andenge coming towards the line now. No, he's in the pit lane as well. So we've got KRC with a 14.2. So only a 10th off so far. Looking good for KRC. Known from another league. Very good on his tyres. We've got Orange with a 14.6. So times are definitely starting to rumble in now. And we've got Alan towards the line. And that is a 14.6 as well. So interesting development so far. Obviously, Chapelele still to set a time here. Abbasus as well. It will be German next across the line. He's invalidated anyway, so we go on board. I will be on board on Abbasus, and we shall see what happens. Actually, no, I won't. I'll stay on board with Chapelele. Sorry, and this is going to be an absolute fire time for Chapelele. This is definitely going to be it. It's for 13.2 for Chapelele.
Wow.
Takes provisional pole at the moment. That is 9/10 quicker. Sorry, 8.5 quicker than Emerson at the moment. We have Abbasus along the line now with a 13.9.
That's wow. I mean, that's the only Chapelele and now Abbasus have broken into the 1:13 mark. I mean, that's just a ridiculous time from Chapelele again. I mean, how is that going to get beaten? I don't see it happening. I'm not going to lie.
No, I don't think it will either, personally. Chapelele again looking into in the league of his own, really. But anything can happen now, especially in the race. I think
Tango wants a 12, apparently, is the time for Chapelele. I'm sure we'd be able to manage it, to be honest. German's about to come across the line, 1:14.4. Good enough.
I think that is definitely manageable, 12 from Chapelele. So
Phil's starting his lap. He was quickest, obviously, in Q2. But now he's got to beat Chapelele, who seems unbeatable at the moment, especially in qualifying and race. Although Phil's gone purple in the first sector, so that's looking promising.
Do you know who Tony is, by any chance, Maz? Because apparently he does comms with you normally. I don't know a Tony.
Oh, no, I have no idea who this Tony is. But yeah, must know him well if I do comms with him. We've also got Leonardo saying, I can feel it coming in the air tonight, oh lord. Droftas criticising Pillars, but then also making a blunder by saying Tony. Invalidated his own criticism there. Phil coming across the line, what can he set? Can he get into the 13s as well? Just misses out, 14.006. That's still a very good time and good enough for third at the moment. Phil obviously still looking for his first podium of the season. Andreas now on his flying lap. And he's gone purple in the first sector. But that is obviously the shortest sector on the circuit. You lose and make all your time in sector 2 and 3 in reality. So on board with Andreas through this S section. It's pretty clean through there. See what? It's not purple, understandably.
At least he didn't do what his teammate did.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, this is where the lap really does matter, though. As he said, stadium section, it's probably the hardest part of the circuit. But again, I think turn 1, 2 and 3, 14.1 puts in P5. So I think turns 1, 2 and 3 are easy to get warnings as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, you know, especially on the first lap as well, you've got people jostling for position 3 there as well. So interesting to see what does happen. Obviously, Chapelele doing what Chapelele does at this very moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, as we both said, I don't see anyone beating it at the moment, but we could be surprised. Abbasus as well. I mean, that's currently Red Bull have locked out the front row, which is, as you say, very good for their constructors, considering Droftas missed out. But of course, you don't get points for locking out the front row, you get points for the race, and a lot can happen. And of course, I haven't even locked out the front row yet. There's still time, and only a 10th between Abbasus and Phil Razor, so that can change very quickly. A
bit more track acclimatisation as well, so I fully expect someone, well, as Tango said, that very certain someone to be in the 12s. And I do expect a few more of them to be in the 13s. Obviously, if you look back from second to ninth, it's only 7/10. It's not that much.
Yeah, it's really close.
One invalidation, you could find yourself dropping about 4 or 5 places easily.
And I think Alan is capable of quicker than that as well, significantly. Phil's looked quick as well, so perhaps he could break into the 13s. Emerson is always a rapid driver. Andreas put in a very good lap to get a 14.165. Perhaps he can extract more. There's still plenty of time left. We've got German already on an outlap. I think he's going to have the track all to himself, to be honest, because I think everyone else will be leaving it quite a bit later.
Very late, definitely. I will be back in unos momentos, so.
Very good of you to use Spanish, considering it's the Mexican Grand Prix. Yeah, back to my solo voice, I'm afraid, for everyone. German on this outlap. As I've accidentally switched to FTH in the pit lane for you. Because I do like to treat you lot. Yeah, this stadium section, is spectacular as it looks, absolutely horrible to drive on this game, in my opinion. It's just so technical. Even the final corner, to be honest, isn't straightforward, as Bottas proved when he smashed into it in 2019. German's starting his lap now. DRS open. Down to the first corner. We've seen quite a lot of drivers, not today, but in real life, overshoot this first corner. Very easy to, especially if you lock up massively. German has avoided that. And comes onto the straight, the DRS straight, just before the end of the first sector. And it is purple, but I think every lap seems to be purple in the first sector. I'm not sure if that's a glitch or just everyone's amazing at the first sector. But German was quick in Q1, if you remember back to that.
Yeah, German.
Epilepsy.
German, he's definitely picked up the pace since the start of the game. He definitely looks a lot more comfortable now than what he did then, which is good to see.
So you've seen it in his results as well, definitely.
Definitely looks good in ALR as well. So I think he's a man that can go under the. Especially when you have people like Chapelet, Droftas, Emerson, Orange, Jalen, guys like that who are quick, and that is a 13.8.
Wow.
So that puts
that's brilliant. Yeah, and
so
as you say,
very easy. Under the radar. So.
Very easy to get overshadowed in this league with so much good drivers. It's worth noting, as you say, an ALR Silver. He's smashing it at the moment, winning the championship. Chapelet about to start his lap. He'll be followed by his teammates, so he will go on board for Chapelet, who's currently sitting provisional pole, and it's going to take quite something to beat it. Can he go even quicker? We're about to find out. We'll also keep an eye on everyone else, but Chapelet will be the first one to cross the line. Behind him is his teammate Abbasus. But yeah, German with an incredible time, 1:13.839. Really good effort from him, and that puts him P2 currently. And the third driver to break into the 13s.
Yep, obviously Phil only 6 hours away, so hasn't got improved by much to get into him, but Chapelet can get into the 12s. It'll be a masterclass again in qualifying from him.
You know what's scary is he just went 5/10 up in that first sector. This is terrifying.
The guy's an animal.
If he can keep this not being validated, I can see this being a 12. He's 4/10 up in the second sector. German retires in the pits. This is looking incredibly good for Chapelet to get yet another pole, which will set him up nicely if he can get another win. He doesn't need to improve, but it looks like he's about to. What time is this going to be? It's a 1:12.6. Abbasus' teammate is going to come across the line. He goes second, 1:13.6. Phil has invalidated his lap. That's devastating for him. FTH has also invalidated his lap. We've got Emerson after him, who hasn't, and he is up on his time.
Alan has invalidated as well. It's really unlike Alan, so unfortunately
a lot of people have invalidated on their final run. Emerson, can he break into the 1:13 gang? Phil can only get fourth at best, but can Emerson dislodge him from that? He can. It's third quickest for Emerson. very good time of 1:13.695. Alan has invalidated, so there is your grid. And
It's a lockout.
do my eyes deceive me, or has Chapelet just got pole by a second?
Chapelet has gotten pole by a second.
That is just...
The guy's just an absolute freak.
I mean, Velocity saying he's only 5/10 of the world record on this track. I can see why. There's the confirmation. He is... Wow, he's over a second quicker than second place's teammate Abbasus. That's incredible. Well done to Abbasus and Emerson and Gurman for all getting to 13. Respect to effort from Phil. So the grid lines up with Chapelet in pole, Abbasus second, Red Bull lockout, front row lockout, Emerson third, Gurman fourth, Phil Razor fifth, Paulie Orange sixth, Andreas seventh, FTH eighth, Alan ninth, and Kingsholm in 10th. That was just a stunning lap. And just...
Yeah, I don't really... not really sure, to be fair, what happened then, but...
I mean, we knew no one could beat his original time. And then he's done that. Just staggering. But of course, it could have been very different if he would have lost his wheel instead of his wing in Q1 when he had that crash in the S section. But that's a what if, a alternate history scenario if you want to write that down. But instead, Chapelet gets the pole position, and we now wait for the formation lap. Yeah, Velocity saying best quali lap of the season. I've got to agree with that. Gotta agree.
Yeah, that is something special right there. So, I don't really know. Just blow my socks off for that one. Don't really know what to say. I'm pretty speechless. So.
I just was watching him and I was like 5/10 up in sector 1. Surely that's wrong. And then it was 4/10 up in sector 2. And I was like, this guy is actually going to improve quite significantly, and he did. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't like he scraped into the 1:12s either. And to get pole by a second is just extraordinary. Lewis Hamilton levels of dominance when it comes to qualifying like that. So we start the formation lap.
Safe to say that Emerson has a bit of a job on his hands tonight.
Absolutely. Droftas will be comfortable that he only needs to finish 4th, because if he needed to win these races, then you know he would be in a big bit of bother, because as we see the predicted pit stop strategy, so it's saying medium to hard, so you pit lap 15 to 17, and the pit strategy disappeared for me to see the 2-stop strategy, so that was helpful. But
yeah, I didn't catch any of the strategies.
As we wait, do you want to run us down the grid?
I can indeed. After an incredible qualifying lap, we have Alien in P1, known as Chapelet. We've got his teammate in Abbasus in P2, with 2 Red Bulls locking out the front row. I haven't seen that for a while either in the game or in real life. So Emerson in P3 with a job on his hands, followed by Gurman in 4th. Phil will hopefully have pleased the Phil gang in 5th. And his teammate in the Ferrari, Paulie Orange, expect him to make a few moves early doors. And Denj in 7th, KRC 8th, Aylin in 9th, Kingsholm 10th, Droftas, the championship leader, in 11th, Tango 12th, in 13th we have Fatality, in 14th, Knowles, got to watch out for him as well, he's doing a few bits at the moment. Farhad in 15th, Nova 16th, Energetics, if you can keep all 4 wheels on the car, you might have a good finish today, in 17th, Bath in 18th, Liam in 19th, and Dan Murphy rounding out the grid in 20th. So interesting, as Nova must have lagged out and now he's just joined to the start of the session, so he won't be able to take control of his car for the start.
Yeah, that's a real shame. Dan also, although he's in last place, has opted for the soft tyre, so he's going for the 2-stop strategy, probably going quite aggressive. You could do the 1-stop, but it'd be incredibly challenging. Soft tyres do not last around here. So the grid lines up, and my leaderboard is already glitching, saying we're on lap 2.
So he's won it.
The light's about to go out. As the leaderboard says that Nova is currently leading the race, which he is, because he started. What a start from Nova! Incredible scenes. Nova's
Yeah,
off.
Nova really shouldn't have joined. So
yeah, you're not meant to join back in the formation. That's a relatively
thrown
new
out.
rule because it glitches the session. This will be a restart.
Lovely.
Unless
we can get through to Nova.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Yeah, this is what happens when you rejoin on the formation app. He has left.
Nova's
so
left,
now 5 lights and away we go. What does Chapelele start like? It looks decent. Abyssus in second, but here comes Emerson, and he's already passed, well, side by side with Abyssus. In fact, he's passed him according to the leaderboard. We've also got Phil, who is potentially up to 4th. He is up to 4th.
But hang on, we got Emerson. Emerson has passed Chapelele.
Emerson has, yeah.
Emerson into the lead, but he's going to be under insane pressure going into this, up into the next section as Chapelele moves to the racing line, trying to go around a long way, but Emerson goes a little bit deep.
Oh,
but he will maintain the lead
back,
here.
though.
Oh, really?
Switch back from Chapelele, that's beautiful. He's going to have the inside. Wheel to wheel, Droftas gets a 3-second time penalty. He's got through, bit of contact there. Phil stays in 5th in the end. Abyssus drops down, 4th. That's my leaderboard glitching out. So Chapelele leads from Emerson, who leads from Abyssus. And Phil is having a go at Abyssus here. He's going to try and go down the inside, is he? He is.
Droftas has damage. Droftas has damage. So something would have happened to Droftas on this opening lap.
Yeah,
this is
he
not
does.
on the right way.
Damage and a penalty.
Moment. So I think he must have had some sort of contact to throw him off and get that 3-second penalty. You might see him appealing that one. If something happens, you have Kingsholm.
Yeah, that seems like a glitch.
Damage as well. Don't know what's happened with Kingsholm there. So I have no idea. Droftas. Unfortunate, but Kingsholm is retired on the first lap. That is, I'm sorry about this, Maz, but I've got to say it's just pathetic. That is lap one. It is pathetic.
It is bad to retire on the first lap, even if you got damage. Phil is not 17th. Don't worry, Phil gang. That's a glitch. He is currently in P3. Actually, he's got past Abyssus. We missed that. There's the leaderboard glitch. They still haven't fixed in this game, which is amazing. German's got past Tango. We're currently on board with Phil, who's looking at the battle between Emerson and Chapelele.
Oh, and Danger's also past Abyssus, so that...
Yeah, that's... Maybe Abyssus had a problem. Paulie Orange is now coming to the back of Abyssus and gaining at a rate of knots. Fatality with a 3-second time penalty. Let's just look at the detail of position changes. So ignoring YouTube Nova, not many gainers in the top 10 apart from Phil Razor and Andreas. Farth has also gained 5 positions at the start. Dan has gained 6 positions from last place to 14th. We're on board with Paulie Orange. He's gaining on Abyssus, but not enough. Andreas on Phil Razor. Meanwhile, well, I tell you what, there's a bit of a train forming behind Chapelele. Do you think he's saving, or...?
Could be. Problem is with round here, with DRS and overtake, most people run similar wings. So you might find guys running 1.4, 1.5, even 1.7, 1.6, something around that sort of ballpark here. And obviously you haven't got that speed to get past, because you'll end up finding yourself just stuck in a DRS train. This is what will happen here. But Chapelele obviously will be the man under threat with no DRS, only his DRS available on the fuel mix, where Emerson can have that fuel mix up DRS and the DRS as well. So this is all in Chapelele's hands. He needs the exit of dreams every time just to make sure he can stay ahead. Obviously 3 DRS zones around here, so one down the main straight, the second one after turn 3, and the other one obviously just getting into the stadium section, which I find is absolutely pointless. It's like the one in Singapore.
Completely.
Just when you go over the Anderson Bridge, there's no point. And the one at Zandvoort as well, when you go into that mini stadium section, there's no need for it.
It's not an overtaking. And DRS is there to assist overtaking. We're watching Knowlesy behind FTH, who's gaining on Elan. We're also seeing Paulie Orange get past Abyssus. Meanwhile, further ahead, Phil is getting very close to the back of Emerson, and Emerson's getting even closer as Phil gets a 3-second time penalty, but so does Andreas. Emerson's getting incredibly close to Chapelele here. He has DRS. Is he going to make a move? It's a tricky overtaking spot here. You have to be a lot closer. Big lock-up from Chapelele, but it hasn't affected it.
I don't know if Abbasis has damage that we can't see. You might have that lime green front wing.
Yeah, that is possible.
You still have your end plates, but
no visual damage.
Yeah, so he might be struggling there because Gerben's closed up at a rate of not so far, and a little bit of a wobbly back end. So I don't know. Maybe it could be something in the setup, in the race-wise, that Abbasis has done and isn't quite 100% on. So be interesting to see.
He's lost positions. That's something that we know for sure. As Energetics, a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, this gap at the top between Chapelele, Emerson, and Phil, and Andreas, and Paulie Orange staying incredibly close, and then there's a bit more of time to Abbasis. But yeah, Leonardo saying, thank you, my heart stopped, because at one point it showed that Phil would suddenly drop to 17th.
Just to interrupt you, Maz, because we're going to have Emerson going up the inside of Chapelele into turn 1.
Ooh, lock up,
but
can he avoid contact?
Deep on the brakes, just a little bit of a nudge here, but obviously Emerson just won't be able to get the move done here, but he won't be that much under threat from Phil either, so there's going to be a few elbows coming out in these next few laps.
Yeah, Emerson, I think, backed off a bit there. I think he was wary of getting wing damage there. Chapelele really will fight hard for this win, because if he wants to win the championship realistically, he has to win every race to the end of the season pretty much, and hope that Droftas has a few DNFs. Droftas wants to finish 4th. He's currently in plumb last in 19th. Abbasis gets a 3-second time penalty, going from bad to worse for him. Paulie Orange is now really gaining on Andreas as well. He's got DRS open. He's not going to be close enough though to make the move. And the gap between Emerson and Chapelele staying at about 4/10. Energetics getting past Farhad. Droftas 20 seconds back. Droftas really needs a safety car, doesn't he, at this point, if he's going to get back into this race?
I think if he wants any chance of any points, he needs a safety car, and it can happen. As we're going to go again with Chapelele and Emerson, but I think Chapelele
round 2.
Stepped on it, but here we go.
Emerson's gaining. He's going to be able to
so have a go. On this game.
Yeah, DRS and ERS deployed, I think. Goes for the dive down the inside. Got to be so careful to avoid contact. Oh, and very, very good to avoid contact there. Phil
but Chapelele will get... Sorry, man, but Chapelele will get a better exit.
But Phil's going to have a go, and he's on the grass. Oh, no! There's contact, and Chapelele's locked up and lost another position. Here comes Paulie Orange, 3 wide, and Chapelele's been forced wide. He's got the position back, though, but he's lost the track. And Andreas has now gone up the inside. Has Phil got damage? I think
Phil has got damage. Phil got damage when Chapelele did look like he forced him off the track, but Orange getting boxed in by his teammate.
Chapelele and Abbasis coming together there. Chapelele and Abbasis coming together. It's all gone crazy, and suddenly Emerson leads. Andreas second. Phil is still in 3rd, but with damage. And Chapelele is going to go for a dive bomb here. That's so ambitious. Phil has pretty much gone off the track there to avoid him. And then his teammate Paulie Orange gets past. Oh, Phil is really struggling. Tango and Gurman through. This is going from bad to worse.
Behind as well. It was only a matter of time before this exploded. And I didn't think it was going to be like that. Obviously, Chapelele.
Yeah, Phil in the pits.
Didn't want Phil to get past there as he just nudged him off track. But this helps out Droftas a little bit. Obviously, Chapelele now slipping down to 4th. And Paulie Orange, we know, is no slouch. So I expect Paulie Orange to be all over him. If Chapelele has got any damage, Paulie Orange will sniff it out. And he should be able to get past Chapelele now. And obviously, there's a few guys behind Chapelele that will want to get past as well.
Yeah, Chapelele with no visible damage, but of course he can get damage that's not visible. Leonardo's absolutely gutted because, I mean, I'm not blaming... I don't blame him. Phil Razor was running in... he had a chance to move into P2, and he did temporarily, but came together with Chapelele and got that damage, and it looked like they both ran each other out of the road, and Phil has now got a 3-second time penalty to add to that. Paulie Orange, not exactly... Chapelele's not exactly pulling away from him, as it stands anyway. Gap staying about 5/10. So Emerson currently leads this race, and he's got a 2.8 second lead from Andreas. To Andreas.
Definitely. Emerson now just needs to check out and get that gap, as obviously Orange now will have the DRS. but Chapelele looks a little bit too far down, or will he? Because Orange is closing in like a rate of knots, but I don't think he's going to be able to get a move done here into turn one. I think he's going to sit behind him maybe.
Such a long straight though, isn't it? Like he's gained so much. It looked like he was way too far back to even gain that much, but he has gained a lot. But Chapelele has also gained on Andreas. Chapelele is in Andreas's DRS, which he wasn't before. So I think Andreas might have made a mistake, or Chapelele's just...
Thing is that Chapelele, I'm just looking now, this could be crucial. Talking of draft stats, he got 3 warners in the first lap, so obviously that contact must have been with Kingsholm somewhere. With Nosey now picking up a penalty, I do fully expect if something did happen, Croft has to put that footage in just to see, if anything can get taken away. Because if something wasn't his fault and it's unjustified, then I definitely expect something to be happening there. But Emerson now is starting to check out just a little bit more.
This is so close, this battle between Andreas Chapelele and Paulie Orange. Although Paulie Orange has got a really bad exit, but Chapelele's got a decent one and should have a really good chance of overtaking Andreas and getting back into that P2 position. And he's going to go round the outside. Andreas is fighting it all the way. And are they going to keep it clean? They're still wheel to wheel, side by side. Really good racing from both of them. But now Paulie Orange is going to have a go down the inside. He's got the move done. He's into P3. Lock up there to avoid Chapelele. And the battle continues. Yeah,
definitely. Orange isn't letting Chapelele get away as easily this week, is he? He's definitely trying to stay on the back of him, which is great for Orange. But even better for Emerson if Chapelele and Orange can keep fighting. And that definitely means Emerson can just check out in front and run his own race. But Orange needs to keep in within this second here. Chapelele does pick up that time penalty. So that could hamper Chapelele right at the end of this race if Emerson can't keep this clean.
Yeah, and Emerson's already, well, he's about 3 seconds ahead of him already, so... Tango is really gaining on Andreas as well. Oh, Andreas is going into the pits. So, an early change as he got damage. It is the pit window. It is the pit window for the 2-stop.
I think we've missed Avas's spot somewhere along the line here, because Avas is down at 19th at the moment. So that must have been last lap, so he must have had a bit of damage maybe, just maybe hampering him. I'm not too sure on that one, but it's Droftas up into 17th, just needs to keep his head down now, as obviously Andenj is leaving the pit lane and Droftas can't get Andenj, so it's not working out. Droftas definitely needs that safety car.
Absolutely, and I think Phil would be very grateful for that as well. I'm just going to be back in 2 seconds.
But we look at it now, we have Paulie Orange 8 tenths away from Chapelele. Orange trying to take those soft tyres a long way here, but they'll start dying out soon. And Orange now only 7 tenths away from Chapelele, so he must have made a mistake somewhere along the lines. So this DRS will help Orange just keep in the DRS for the main straight. But it's easier said than done. There's a little bit of dirty air around here, and it can all go horribly wrong. Emerson now 2.3 away. Chapelele really is trying to take that fight to him. But we have Energetics only 3 tenths away. We have a bit of a train now going on here behind, well, I'd say it's from behind the KRC. So Alan really needs to get this move done to start cracking on with the race, start getting into Gurman, as we have Dan Murphy currently in the pit lane at the moment. So we will see what happens. Obviously, as Orange picks up another penalty, that isn't going to help him, but he is only 6 tenths away from Chapelele. He needs to keep putting this pressure on, and maybe that could help Emerson just a little bit more, who is currently in P1. So, we look down the order. This is Dan Murphy now coming up on last. So, Farhad, Liam, Aylan, KRC, Gurman and Emerson, the only people not to pick up a penalty so far, and this is crucial around here, is towards the back end of this race we might find out that penalties can either cost you a win, a podium, points. It can cost you everything you want. Obviously there's going to be a few guys looking at the bottom of the at the bottom of the standings. I'll just load them up now. So you have got Liam, Abasis and Tango down in the last few places. You've got Far now passing Energetics. There's what's going on here? So obviously then you've got in the GP2 standings, the guys at the top you're obviously going to have FIFA Beefy, Brandon and Forza, but it is very tight in the top three. So fully expecting a few moves from Tango, who is currently in 6th. You've got Liam, who is in 9th. So you need to keep scoring those points, whether they be big hauls or just a few every now and then. They just need to keep them coming in steady now for the last 7 races to avoid that drop into GP2. But obviously I don't know what will happen next year, because we have Knowlesy closing into the back of Alan. So Knowlesy, I did say he's in a rich vein of form. He looked very, very good last night round Italy. He's looking very good. He's definitely in those fajitas today, because he is currently now 5/10 away from Alan, and Alan won't have any defence with the DRS. So this is all going to come down to ERS and straight line speed, as Chapelele is closed into 1.2 on Emerson. So whatever's happened there, but you might find the Phil will appeal something with forcing, with Chapelele forcing him off track, but who knows? We've got Liam in the pit lane at this present time. Knowlesy not able to get Alan this time round. But Tango currently closing in as well, with 92% ERS. Tango not using much at all. So he will have a lot in store. If he really wanted to go for it down the main straight, he will be fine. But this is the battle we need to really be looking at. And it is Emerson, Chapelele and Paulie Orange. Orange is struggling at the back end of the second to stay in this DRS, and he's now not in it. So he needs a really good run through the S section just to make sure he can stay in it, because Chapelele is only 8/10 away from Emerson. And we will see what happens going down this straight. Obviously, I don't know who Maz has left this with. I am just having to do this without I can't see where he's left it with, because I can stay on board. I don't really want to stay on board with it. He is with Emerson, so luckily the Chapelele darts into the pit lane early stop, and Orange follows suit. So this is going to be interesting now. We've got Chapelele going on to hards, and you have got Orange going on to the hard tyre as well. So even though that gap looks huge, like they into the pit lane, so they're slotting up to 5th now. German, Tango all lifting up places, and you've got Droftas. Where's Droftas? Droftas is boxed again. So Droftas is 19th again, but on a fresh set of soft tyres. So you might find Droftas in at about lap 22, lap 23, and go 13 on the mediums, just ploughing lap after lap after lap. So fully expect them to be in the next 8-9 laps here. But you've got KRC now overtaking Abasis. So Abasis has really struggled for the race pace. His 1 lap pace was pure fire, but it seems like someone's poured a bucket of cold water straight over that 1 lap pace. So Energetics now getting round Far. Chapelele getting round Farhad as well. And then just hopping at Paulie Orange. So but it's not worked out for Orange with Farhad. Is he struggling? I think he's struggling on those medium tyres, because Orange is climbing all over the back of him now, and he's going to be making a move into the stadium section. And he gets that done very, very easily indeed there. So good stuff as Emerson now reacts to the pit lane, to the box of Chapelele. He's going on to the softs. Emerson going 2-stop here. Is Emerson thinking he can get enough time on those soft tyres? And where is Chapelele? And Chapelele will take the lead of the race. So Chapelele now needs to start pulling away from Emerson. But Emerson will have that straight line speed advantage. Zan Dench now trying to make a move on Emerson, but you won't be able to this time round. Where is Paulie Orange. Paulie Orange is looking a little bit interested in the back there, but you've got Tango and German. German now leading the race. I think it looks like it is his lap to box as well. So Tango closely behind, and you've got Chapelele as well. So interesting to see now. Chapelele needs to start checking out. But obviously, you're going to have Emerson, who is hounding him down. The time is dropping dramatically. As you got Paulie Orange needs to get this move on and bench done. Rapido to get through and to stay in this fight. As Emerson now closing in on Chapelele. He's only 7/10 away. So TLT picks up a 3-second time penalty. And I will just double check now the penalty situation up front with Chapelele, who was only 2 warnings away from another. Emerson is keeping it clean, but only 1 warning is Emerson. Late on the brakes, but he's going to have Chapelele for company through 2 and through 3. But Emerson regains the lead, and now he needs to go. He needs to push those softs for whatever they have left in them. He will need to use them ASAP Rocky style. Is Orange did get past Andenge on the main straight as well. Aylin in 13th on a set of soft. So Aylin going for the 2 soft as well. But Nosey up the inside of Aylin into the left hand at the end of sector 1 start of sector 2. But Aylin will have the inside line. But Nosey gets the move done. Brilliant move from Nosey there to make his way up into 13th. This is not looking good for the AlphaTauri boys at all. But Droftas all over the back of Fatality at this present moment in time. Back up, it's now 1.5 seconds. You see how quick those softs are compared to the hards. But longevity wise, obviously Chapelele won't need to box again, which I think is actually key for the race win for Chapelele. But obviously, who knows what could happen if Phil does appeal. Some feel at one point as Tango boxes and onto a set of mediums. So Tango going double mediums. And German 16 laps on those mediums so far. They must be awful. They must feel so bad as Emerson will be closing in at a rate of knots to try and get near him. But we shall see in due course. As Far picks up another penalty. Just back down the order a little bit more. Chapelele 2.3, but only 7/10 away. Sorry, 3 seconds away. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying that. I need to actually have my proper interval. So, it's all messed up here. Chapelele 2.7 behind. Yeah, Orange is 2.8. Sorry, that is my mistake. Probably should read my times better. As Phil is closing into the back of KRC, but he has got Dan Murphy, and Dan Murphy is a man or two who knows about speed. So Phil does need to watch his back for Dan, as Dan will have a great run as Phil is boxing this lap. So Phil coming in, maybe a set of mediums, try and last him to the end of the race. As we have a big bundle going on here behind Liam. We've got Nosey and Aiden. So Nosey closing in, but Liam getting the DRS for Nosey. Have enough in him to go up the inside, just having a peek. Just making sure Liam knows that he's there. This is the run. This is where you want to be quick on. It's turn 3. You want a great exit, and Nosey gets that. But Nosey will be staying in that slipstream with Tango with no defence, with no DRS, but Liam too far back, and so is Nosey, and Aiden just joining the party as well, right at the back end of that. So Emerson 3.6, but he needs to get more. He needs to keep going. There's German's off. German spun in the S section. He has a puncher. I didn't think it'd be that long before something like that happened, and disaster is struck for German. But he needs to keep out the way here. It's easier said than done when you have a puncher, but unfortunately that will be German's race over and done with as he's round again. But that could just cost Tango, or who will that cost? It could cost Liam more than anything. No, it probably won't, to be fair. Is Tango looking really good on the ERS? currently. Emerson, 4.1, as Gurman does now box. And unfortunately his race has been run. He's on the hard tyre now. Abbasus on the hards, but he's just dropped off so much. What could have been for the Red Bull team is now turned out into what if. Tango's lagged out. That is big for Tango. He has lagged out the session. That will promote Liam. That will promote Nosey. That will promote Alan.
Oh my goodness, I am back.
Up a spot. Oh, it's good to have you back, mate. My throat is starting to hurt now.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Some dodgy fajitas, is it, mate?
It wasn't fajitas, but maybe some undercooked food or something. Not sure what it was, but yeah, yellow. Oh, someone's round. It's Fatality's round in Sector 2.
Yeah, we've had Gurman pushed those mediums a bit too long there, Maz, and he actually had a puncher. So he was in the race for a while, but Gurman obviously...
Last time I saw he was leading the race. So I see Emerson's back in P1, Chapelele P2.
Yeah, but those softs will start dying out. Tango lagged out a few moments ago, but Aylin now going to move on Liam, but Liam holds off for another lap. But the interesting development, obviously got Paulie and Chapelele on the hards, and you'll have Emerson boxing again as well. So this is all about how much speed Emerson has right this very moment in time.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to pit again, obviously, as you mentioned. Yeah, interesting that Chapelele and Paulie Orange opting for the hards. So they've gone for they've sort of cancelled each other out with that, but Emerson's trying something different. And I guess you have to, really, with Chapelele, don't you, to cope with that. Also, looks like KRC's doing a good job with in P6. I presume everyone's pitted at this point, unless they're tired. Otherwise, their tyres have exploded. Everybody's
pitted so far. Abbasus just had a race to forget. He's now on the hards, but yeah, it's not really gone the Red Bull's way. Well, Abbasus' way, but obviously you never know. Phil could be reporting something after the race.
He's just got a 3-second time penalty as you were saying that, so definitely hasn't gone his way. He had a really good qualifying though, so that's a shame. KRC
you might find
gaining on Andreas here. Thinks
you might find that obviously Phil could have a bit of reporting. Great run out of turn 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. ERS, is it enough?
Going around the outside if he's going to do it.
Oh, this could be a great move.
Oh my word.
This could be a great move.
Now he's got the inside line. They're still
That's
side by side.
That's a great move so far.
They're still side by side. This is excellent battling. And who is going to be in front for the S section? It's going to be FT. Yeah, that is brilliant work from them.
That's absolutely a great move. Unbelievable. Really late on the brakes, but made it work for him. But they're still going to be battling into the stadium section.
Oh, and I tell you what, we've got the most beautiful camera angle we did for a bit there on stream of them two battling from the helicopter angle. I love that. Oh, we got it again through the stadium section. Yes. It seems to be more than just my stomach failing. It's my brain. We've got a real gaggle of cars back from in the midfield as well. Dan's pitted. Dan is pitted. He's done 10 laps on those softs. So I presume this will be his final pit stop, then it's the medium tyre.
Igor Droftas obviously needs to make one more as well. They won't be going another 13 laps either, so interested to see what does happen here, obviously. Aylin in 8th for the AlphaTauri, and obviously you got Chapelele in 2nd, so AlphaTauri will still be leading the championship after the constructors after this race. Droftas will still be leading the drivers, and there's a few tracks that I know Droftas is very, very handy around as street
circuits.
So it'll be interesting to see what Droftas can do in the upcoming weeks. We'll just check the penalties just once again.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Alan's done a good job getting himself up into P8. Obviously, repping the AlphaTauris in the points at the moment. Energetic's also in the points. Liam has got another penalty. So the only driver, there are 2 drivers on track that haven't got penalties. the race leader Emerson, who now has a 5-second lead, but of course has to pit again, and Farhad, who's down in 15th.
Yeah. And Chapelele is only a warning away.
Andreas
another
is
penalty.
Oh, so danger zone for Chapelele as Andreas pits. He's going to go on to the mediums.
Emerson's still with the solitary warning. So Emerson's,
wow,
I want to say it's Emerson's to lose, but in a way it's not, because he's still got to take that extra pit stop. And Chapelele just at 5 seconds. I wouldn't want to be a betting man right now.
Well, Dan's looking for a move on Abbasis, and Abbasis is looking on a move from Farhad. Abbasis has made the lunge. It's a late one on Farhad. Oh, contact. Dan's lost his wing. Farhad defended fairly but aggressively, and yeah, he's got wing damage.
Dan is still going to go for. Dan's still got to move down on Abbasis.
He has. I think because Abbasis' line was so basically went for the move. Farhad defended, and Abbasis sort of went a bit wide and had to slam on the brakes. And then Dan's gone into the back of him.
The only issue I've got with Dan is he's leaving his overtake.
That is infuriating. That is on
it.
If you ever watch Into the Barrier, that's one of the most infuriating things about him. He always leaves the overtake on. Abbasis is all over the back of him because of that wing damage.
As expected.
Yeah, he's surely going to get him done here. Dan gets a 3-second time penalty to add to his misery. Not been the greatest of days for Dan today. Chapelele has closed the gap to 4.5 up front.
Yeah, I think those softs might be dying now, so...
Yeah.
I'd expect Everton. He's 6/10 down on his first set to Delta time, so I definitely think those softs are seeing better days. But Aiden up in 7th, and he got dropped us in 11th, and he's kind of gone under the radar again this race.
Yeah.
Dan Murphy's lagged out the session.
That's a shame.
Or something, I'm not
just
too
as he's
sure.
pitted, yeah, I think it's him lagging.
But
otherwise we'd
that's an 11.
tired. Oh!
Close.
Are you seeing what I'm
Oh,
seeing?
Chapelele is another with a 3 second. So that is 6 seconds. So, I mean, Emerson, if he boxes now, the only thing Emerson's going to have is he's got orange 9 seconds behind. He's got 14 seconds to KRC. He needs to keep that pace up as much as he can to stop any chance of getting, another 4, maybe 5 places down. He might find himself coming out P5, maybe. I'm not too sure what the loss is.
Well, do we know what Paulie Orange's penalty situation is? Are you on 3 or?
Oh, he's got 9 seconds. I'm pretty
9
sure
seconds.
He has 9
okay.
seconds.
So currently there's no threat of Chapelele then being off the podium on penalties. Phil has got Droftas in the pits again, and he's going on to another set of softs.
Yeah,
isn't that like his third pit stop for softs?
He started on the medium, so luckily he's still in there. But I will check how many stops.
Is Tango back in the session? Yeah, Tango is back on the session, and he's on the back of Liam Yet in that Renault.
So Droftas has 3 stops this race so far. It just hasn't worked out for him since lap 1.
Yeah.
I think it must have been contact with King's Home, who subsequently just decided to retire in the pit lane when and the thing is with that is Flea was in that seat as Droftas picks up a penalty. As Flea was in that seat, King's Home then said he could race. He then takes the seat and then just retires. And you've got to feel a bit bad for Flea, who was ready to race.
Just to interrupt you there. And
yeah,
he's got
to feel a bit sorry for Flea. So
yeah, no, I know what you mean, and I do get frustrated when drivers do it. I understand it; it's so tempting, but to do it when you've had a bad race, but you just never know. Even a safety car 10 laps from the end of this race now could change everything. And certainly 1 lap in. I mean, it wasn't even a lap, was it?
It wasn't. It was the end of the first lap. So.
Nolsey, Alan, Liam Yet, and Farf all in the pits.
Emerson down to 4th, but on the fresh soft. So Emerson needs to make their work for him pretty quickly. Yeah, definitely. He's definitely timed that right. So Tango 1.4 behind, but obviously Emerson will have that extra grip as Phil has Andenge for company at the moment on the way down to the end of Sector 1.
Phil's done a really good recovery actually to get back into P7 as well. Like that just shows that you never give up. Like Phil could have easily given up after that incident. He probably still won't get the podium today, but he could still get some solid points. And I think Phil Gang should be proud of his performance today. He, no fault of his own, in my opinion. I think it was a racing incident. Maybe perhaps leaning towards it being more Chapelele's fault, if I can remember correctly. But that might just be my memory being crap. Leonardo's saying Phil is a warrior, and he has been today. And he's pulled away from Andreas there quite significantly. And Elan's gone for the move on Abbasus and got it done.
Again, it's just another story of Abbasus just not having any race pace. But obviously, Abbasus on those harder tyres, but Elan on the fresh softs.
Farhad on those 10... Yeah, Knowlesy's also on fresh softs, and he's behind Farhad, who's on 10-lap-old hards. And I don't see how Farhad is going to defend this, to be honest, considering how close Knowlesy is.
This could be a bit like B&M Bargains. This is B&M Bargains. This is 2 for 1. Is Elan makes it 3 wide with double slipstream. And Elan.
Yeah.
Has he got Knowlesy? I don't think he quite has Knowlesy, because Knowlesy's going to fight this into turn 1, and Knowlesy gets...
That was really well done there from Knowlesy, actually, because I thought Elan might have had him there. But yeah, brilliant driving. And to be fair to Farhad, there's nothing you can do in that position. He did the right thing there, because if he would have fought that, he would have just lost more time. Those guys are on fresh softs. It's not really his race to be fighting them. But yeah, really nice move from Knowlesy. And can I just say a very good line from you, Pillars? I did like the bargain reference. Certainly a contender at the end of the season when we do the best commentary one-liners. I think we've got quite a few contenders.
I think you'll find Droftas has had a fair few.
Oh, so. Absolutely, absolutely he has. Yeah, no, I've witnessed some of them, and when I've been racing, I've been sort of trying not to laugh when he comes out with a FTH KRC. Sorry, is pitted. So is Tango. And KRC's gone onto the softs, Tango on the mediums. That's elevated Emerson to P3. And he is gaining
8 laps to go, but he's going to have to push. He needs, about 13 would get him there. He only needs...
or a safety car.
Needs a safety car. Safety car would be handy.
We haven't had one, obviously, so far.
Liam 15 at the moment. Abbasus getting passed by Liam.
And Liam's going to have a go at his teammate here, actually, because Farhad is struggling on those tyres.
As well, so... I expect this move to get done. Yeah, Farhad looks like he's just toned it all down. I think he has. But no, he's still going to battle this. Farhad is going to battle this.
Yeah, he is.
Through.
And that was always going to happen. That was you know what? He's
ideal.
lucky he's got no damage. He's very lucky. He's got no damage. Tango just squeezing through.
Tango.
That was outrageous.
Good opportunistic move. But we've got Droftas. Sorry to cut you off there.
KRC is just taking Andreas, and he has taken Andreas there on those fresh softs. Tell you what, it's been a great race so far for KRC.
Definitely, you've got Knowlesy and Elan all behind Andreas as well. And Knowlesy looking for a move. This is opportunistic. Knowlesy gaining the place as well. And Elan obviously with the fresh softs. Better traction. And you might find Elan now coming, slipping up the inside of him. And he gets that done as well. So Andreas leads in a handful of places.
I've accidentally disabled my leaderboard somehow. I don't know how I did. Ah, there we go. Triangle.
And Droftas is past German.
Indeed, he is.
Droftas past German up to 14th. It's been a race to forget for Conor Droftas.
And Farth and Energetics side by side. Farth going for the switchback. And
fresh softs.
3 laps
really
fresher, but Energetics is coming back at him. He's not taking no for an answer. Going to have to go around the outside if he's going to do it. We'll have the inside for the next corner. He's going to back out there. Yeah, that's really what Farhad should have done really with his teammate.
Farth is a hard man to overtake. So
he is indeed. Tango gaining on Liam. Yeah. Also, Emerson is closing in on Paulie Orange quite quickly, and then of course he only needs to get within 6 seconds of Chapelele to get the win. Energetics gets another penalty. I think that's at least a second. Liam has gone really deep. Tango going to get the move done nicely. So thank you very much for that mistake. And he's up into the points.
Just another one here, Maz. This could be...
Oh, yeah.
Phil could lose about 3 places here, because here comes KRC.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he could. He might just be saved, but Knowlesy's not... Yeah, he's going to be saved, I think.
He's going to be saved with KRC through, but you might find that Knowlesy gets the move done in this DRS zone, because look at the traction. The traction for Knowlesy is so much better. and no DRS to Phil, because it's like Australia, you get one DRS zone for 2 sections, and there goes Knowlesy. So Knowlesy through to P6, P5, and KRC to P4.
So Phil down to P7, but he's on those old medium tyres.
Farhad as well, so Droftas now has Abbasis, and then if he can close up to Liam, maybe, then Droftas might find himself scraping the point. And if anybody's going to be my driver of the day, I would have to give it to Droftas. Looking at this at the moment, from the way he's battled back from the back of the field. That
gap is really coming down. Also, the gap coming down, Alan and Phil Razor. Phil doing a really good job on those old mediums, but he's got 5 more laps to hang on. He can still get some good points, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold on to P7 as Alan gets past. But if Phil can still get good points here in P8, considering, although it could have been a podium, considering what happened and stuff, he never gave up. And he'd probably be my contender for driver of the day at the moment. Droftas gets past Abbasis, and that's P11 for Droftas. Next up is Liam Yet for that final points position. Emerson as well now, 4 seconds behind Paulie Orange. Paulie Orange, 6.4 seconds behind Chapelele, but Emerson needs to catch up with him and get past him quicker if he wants to win this race, because at the moment it looks like that decision to go on the soft tyre might have cost Emerson. And I think he might have some regrets. We'll ask him about it at the end of the race. Sure, he will have regrets if he's not winner at the end of this, because he's driven superbly.
Definitely, Emerson needs to pick it up. He's got 4 laps, and he needs to get on with it. It's 3.5 seconds to Orange, but he needs about 4.2 to make sure that he's going to be fine for that race win. Knowlesy closing slowly to the back of KRC, but the thing is, Alan is only 8 tenths away from the back of Knowlesy, so Knowlesy has a little bit of work to do still to make sure he can cement that P5. I'm just looking at this, confusing the hell out of me. He's still got an over in P1, but
that is
Orange.
That is so annoying that that's still there. Hopefully he won't be on the podium. If he is, we'll just ignore it, because it's just the disconnection of on the formation lap glitch. Alan gaining on Knowles, as you mentioned. Gets a mouthful of leaves there from the trees of Mexico. Hoping that they'll be blessing him with luck.
I just don't think Emerson's going to do this.
No, he's got it down to 2.9, but 3 laps, and he's got to get past him, and then he's got to gain on Chapelele. I think this might be too big of an ask, because look, Chapelele's starting to pull away from Paulie Orange now. So
definitely, this is a tall order now, and I think Emerson, after all his best efforts, I think he might just fall a little bit short. But it'll be P2. Just won't be that cover to P1 that he wanted. Probably when he took the lead and pulled away for about 4 or 5 seconds in front. It's just unfortunate. But Droftas only 1.8 off the back of Liam. So this does go to show that you shouldn't give up. Anything can happen.
Absolutely. And Phil is another example of that. Although Phil is about to lose a position to Tango, who's got up to the back of him. Phil should just about be able to cling on to a point or 2 points. 4
tenths away from the back
of Knowlesy. He's had a bad exit, that's compromised him. Chapelele now 7 seconds ahead of Paulie Orange. That's not good news for Emerson. Yellow flag. Andreas is out
retired
in the pits.
He's retired in the pits.
Yeah, so he's given up with only 2 laps to go, which is quite odd.
You're better off seeing that out. It's like 3.5 minutes. You've got to wait. You've got to drive for it. It's not much.
No, but yeah, Andreas doesn't seem to do that much, to be fair to him. But obviously, just had enough today. So we're currently on board with our race leader, Chapelele, with 2 laps to go.
I'm going to check the Liam Droftas situation with penalties. Just give me 1 second. That's 1.
Yeah, that gap is closing.
2. That's 3. That's 1. This has got to be on track, I think. Depending on what happens in the last 2 laps, this could be on track. Orange closed the gap a little bit down to 6.9.
Oh, that's annoying. Andreas's car has come back out on track. And it's...
It has indeed. Oh, it's just pulled over now.
Yeah.
Emerson with a penalty.
Oh no, and that's blown any chance he had. To be honest, he must be pushing so hard, but I think at this point, yeah, it doesn't matter, penalty or not, he wasn't going to get the win. Unless, of course, I mean, Chapelele's on 19 lap old, well, about to be 20 lap old hards, unless his tyre explodes, but it shouldn't do. And Chapelele goes into the final lap with a 6.8 second lead. And Paulie Orange and then... sorry, second final lap. That's what I said. Actually.
You're getting excited.
Oh yeah, I was getting a bit excited there, wasn't I? At this point, to be honest, I want it to be over so I can lay down for a bit.
Nah, it's fair enough.
Tango gaining on the back of Alan. On a bit of a charge at the moment.
For Tango, though, I think it's just stuck in a train. Obviously, Alan getting the DRS on the back of Nosey, but what Alan really wants is to not pass Nosey this lap. He wants to just stay close enough and pass him on the last lap down that straight, down the start-finish straight, just to cement that P5.
Yeah.
And he should find himself safe. I think Emerson will get P2 from Orange.
German's pitting at the moment. I hope that...
I don't know what's happened. Chapelele's fallen right off it. He's fallen right off it. Orange has gained 6/10 this lap.
Yeah, he has. Maybe he's turning it down. It's the final lap though, so I don't know why he would. Farhad's got past Droftas.
Droftas is... That's a strange place for Droftas to lose it somewhere.
Yeah, he's got damage. No. He's got damage to his right end plate.
He's got big damage.
Yeah, he's lost his right end plate pretty much almost completely. That's disappointing. He could have had points. Would have been a tall order still to get points, but yeah, that's really put the nail in the coffin, and yeah, devastating for Droftas there. A race to forget, but he's still got races to make up for it. But it doesn't, of course, help that his challenger and chaser in Chapelele is currently winning the race, and currently in the second sector now.
Definitely, but he's up to 7.6.
Nosey and Alan are battling here.
And here comes, this is what we're on about, and here comes Dalen.
Tango! Tango's on it! Tango's...
He is.
Oh my word, he's going to go for the move on Alan. That's ambitious. Could he get it done?
I don't think he will. Alan needs to hold this inside line. He needs to hold strong here.
Can't turn in too much.
I don't think he will, because I think Tango's got him.
Tango trying to squeeze him, and Tango's got the move done. Wow. Brilliant racing. Chapelele's won. Paulie Orange is going to come a second on track, but is Emerson going to leapfrog him on penalties? Yes, he is. And there's a big gap to KRC. Do we know what penalties KRC has? Or is he going to get P5 here, or is that going to be Tango?
I think it will be P4. Yeah, it's looking...
Sorry, P4, actually. Yes, because of Nova. And let's see, Tango's coming across the line now after that amazing final lap. It is going to be P... no, it's not.
FT8. Oh, Alan!
Oh, wow!
Alan hopping up to 4th.
Tango's all the way down to... Tango's down to 10th. Phil is up to 8th. What is going on here? Tango's out the points. What was his penalty? Tango's dropped from 6th down to 13th.
Oh my god.
That's gutting. That's absolutely gutting.
No, that looked really bad at the start. His penalty +2. He looks about 12. I think it's about 9 to maybe 12 seconds. I don't know.
Well, it's dropped him from P6 to P13. That's
ouch.
Devastating. But wow. Tango's saying it wrongly added time. Well, I'm sure the stewards can fix that in the post-race results if you just submit your footage. Driver of the day went to Nova. No, he disconnected. Ignore that. That is not the driver of the day. I think my driver of the day I'd give as Phil, because he's managed to recover and get P8 from what was a very difficult position. Would you have the same, or would you have someone different?
I'd have Phil. I'd definitely have Phil after what happened with Chapelele. Obviously, I was
Oh
unlucky
yeah,
for Phil
Chapelele was brilliant as well.
to get to see what happened with Chapelele. But yeah,
Yeah, we
I
missed
definitely
what
think he's
happened
got
with the
before.
Droftas incident at the end, but be interesting to know what happened. So yeah, there you have it. Chapelele with 6 seconds penalty wins from Emerson, from Paulie Orange. In fourth, we have Alan. Fifth, Knowlesy. Sixth, KRC. Great job from him. Seventh, Phil. What a great recovery from him after that damage that put him down to last. Liam Yeh, 8th. Farhad, 9th. And Abbasis, 10th.
Did you say Tango got timed wrongly there?
According to Tango himself in the comments, yeah.
Oh yeah, to be fair, it looks
Yeah,
like...
he's got 9 seconds of penalty. How did he drop down that much when the gap was like 20 seconds? I think there's been time... I think that's a glitch, actually. I think he's right.
Yeah. Well, that could be from where he lagged out.
Yeah, it might be something to do with that. Yeah, Tango's saying I think I should be 8th with penalties. Yeah, he definitely shouldn't be that low down. But yeah. Well, thank you, Leonardo, for watching. Yeah, great job from Phil. We'll try and get... Do you mind inviting the podium sitters into the party? Emerson, Chapelele, and...
Paulie Orange.
Paulie Orange again. That's back-to-back podiums for Paulie Orange. Not too shabby. Not too shabby indeed.
Coming into a bit of form is old Mr. Orange.
He is. And decent points for Ferrari today, actually. Would have been even better, potentially, if Phil didn't have the incident with Chapelele. But yeah, definitely looking up at Ferrari based on that race. Just whilst we're waiting for people to join. I think next on the calendar... Let's get it up. So next on the calendar is China. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see that. But that's Chapelele's 4th win in a row.
Invited all 3 of them.
And more crucially than it being his 4th win in a row, Droftas didn't get the points. So that is the biggest game. Did we see who got fastest lap actually? Because it didn't come up on my screen.
No, it. Well, would it be? Well, I think because Nova glitched it, didn't he?
Yeah, true. We'll have to. I think the stewards will have to work out who got the fastest lap. If that was glitched by Nova, who technically on stream won the race, but of course didn't win the race. He disconnected.
Classic
Yeah. We got everyone in now. Pillars, do you want to do the interviews for a change? Was a second quicker. Just crazy. Just yeah, Chapelet. They just want to say, obviously, well done on the. That's your fourth win in a row, and obviously bonus that Droftas didn't finish in the points. Uh, so you starting to believe it's possible, or still? It's still a very hard ask. Exactly. Yeah, it's a good result for you. Unlucky Emerson. I thought you had that race at one point, but just seemed to fall away from the end. Obviously, they're really clean drive in terms of only getting one penalty, and just finally, yeah, it was just pushing like mad and get that, but it wouldn't have made any difference in the end. And yeah, and yeah, just finally, congrats on the back-to-back podiums, Paulie Orange. You seem to be coming into your own a bit. Absolutely, congratulations, lads, and see you next week. Hopefully, I'll be in a better state next week. Don't really know what happened halfway through, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Apologies about that issue in the stream where we just stared at Emerson's car for about 5 laps, 6 laps. Yeah, it was great for you, but there was no one near you at the time. It's just you driving on your own. Yeah, it wasn't just because we were in love with you. It's because I was feeling very ill at that point. But yeah, so I had to go. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. And thanks everyone for watching. Bye bye.